Hello, everybody. It's Miss Sinclair. It is, what day is this? Wednesday? Wednesday, February 17th. We've been home for 5 days. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. Please make sure you have your tools out. You're going to need your composition books today. Ta-da. Put that over to the side. You're going to use your highlighter to figure out what the directions mean. So let's take a look at the directions. As you evaluate these expressions, highlight where it says evaluate the expressions. This right here is an expression. This is an expression. This is an expression. There's no equal signs in it. Evaluate. What do you think they mean when they say evaluate? Henry, what do you think?
Like all the numbers.
All the numbers? What are you going to do with them, Madison? Explain them, Riddick.
You're gonna put them into the answer, like what the total is.
What the total is, Riley? Okay, let's look at the word evaluate. Remember I told you if you're not sure what it means, look for the root word. What's the root word for evaluate? Michael, value. If I ask you the value of something, what I'm asking you to do is tell me what it's worth, right? So I want to know what these are worth. But here's the second part. You highlight the second part of the directions. How did you get the answer? So I'm going to ask you to tell me two things. Figure out what the value is, answer it, and tell me how you got the answer. Ready? Go. You got 2 minutes. Give me a thumbs up when you have those 3 answers for me. Riddick, thank you. Thanks, Olivia. Thanks, Michael. Thanks, Henry and Maya and Kylie. Cooper. Kylie. Bailey. Angel. All right, let's take a look. What answer did you get for this first one? Henry?
40.
And tell me, how did you figure out it was 40? How did you get to that answer?
I counted out how many 4s there are, which is 10 and 10 times 4 is 40.
So you had 4 10 times. Did anybody add all the 4s? Did you count by 4s? Could you have counted by 4s?
Yeah.
Would you still get the same answer?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Riddick.
I counted by 8s.
Grouped them together and counted by 8s. Okay. All right. Let's look at this next one. Answer? Riddick?
45.
And how'd you get 45? 9 5 times. Could you have counted by 9s? 9, 18, 27, 36, 45. Is one faster than the other one?
Yes.
What do you think, Henry?
Yes.
Which one is faster?
9 times 5.
So multiply might be faster than adding?
Yeah. What you prefer?
Whatever you prefer. Do you get the same answer either way?
Yeah.
Yes. What about this last one? Madison.
I looked at how many tens there were.
Right?
Like 5.
There are 5 10s.
And then I did 5 times 10.
Very good. You know what this is called? Repeated, write this down, repeated addition. Or you keep adding the same number over and over and over and over. And with repeated addition, you can actually solve that by multiplying. Make sense? Izzy, do you have all this written down? Okay. Okay, I want you to take out your composition books now. Today's date. Ooh, I almost wrote 2010.
No, I would love to be
Yikes.
back in 2010.
I would
I'd
be
be
a year old.
I would have been like 2 years old.
All right. I'm going to tell you, I would have been 52 years old.
I'd be 1 year old.
So you would be, are you,
Yes.
so you're 60.
I'm more than 60, but yes.
67?
You was 61?
No.
18?
All right, guys, ready? Yes, whoever said that.
Me.
Okay, here we go. We just talked about repeated addition, right? Check this out. Exponents, which is what we're going to study today,
Ooh, our favorite.
is actually repeated multiplication. Let me show you what I mean when I say that. I could do this. 5 times 5 times 5. I'm repeatedly multiplying by 5s, right? Is the same as this exponent. You guys remember that from 5th grade?
Yeah.
5 to the 3rd power. Now, if I were to say to you, what is 5 times 5 times 5? It's not 15. So let's do it together. Ready?
I already know it.
5 times 5 is 25. And 5 of those is 5 quarters.
125. Oh, really? What? Oh,
5 quarters.
oh yeah.
Yep. You ready? So each of these is a different way to write the same thing. This is the same value as this, is the same value as this. But those have different names. So let me show you what I mean. If you stretch it out and you write it with all the time signs, it's called expanded form. And expand it means just to stretch it all out into separate parts. If you write it using an exponent, it's exponential form. Exponential. So if you look at the root word there, it's exponent. And if you just write the plain old regular number that it's worth, it's standard form. All of those have the same value. 5 times 5 times 5 is 125. 125 is 5 to the 3rd power. 5 to the 3rd power means 5 3 times. Okay, every exponent has 2 parts to it. So the first part is the big number. That's called the base. So the base up here is 5. And the little number up here in the corner is the exponent.
I just thought that was a remainder up there.
Now somebody else said that too. I get why you thought that. Yeah. That's the exponent. So this tells you what number am I repeating. And this number tells you how many times I'm repeating it. Watch this. Ready? Which of those is the base number? The 2. So the 2 is the one I'm going to repeat over and over, and this tells me how many times I'm going to write it.
Oh, where,
Question?
if it was like that, where would the remainder go if it
There is no remainder, ever. That's only for division, and we're multiplying. So let's see if you can figure out what this answer is. Watch what I do. I'm old. I've done this for a long time. I always use my fingers. Watch why. Ready? 2 times 2 is 4. Times 2 is 8. Times 2 is 16. times 2 is 32. That tells me if I counted the right number of times. So 2 to the 5th power is equal to 32. There is one most common mistake people make with exponents when you first learn them. Let me show you what the most common mistake is. Most common mistake. 6 is not the correct answer. How did they get 6? Henry?
2 3 times equals 6.
2 times 3 is 6. But this doesn't mean 2 times 3. What does it mean? It means this. 2 times 2 times 2. Ready? 2 times 2 is 4 times 2 is 4 times 2.
8.
It is not 6.
But I feel like you really do it whatever the base number is times the thing is. Just add the base number one more time after you times it.
Well, except for what if it's this? 2 to the 17th power. You can't just add one more time.
No, just put it now. Now watch. Wait. What is 17 times 2? 34.
34. It's not even close to 34.
Yeah, no.
Not even close. It is not even close to 34. It's okay. So you guys ready?
Yep.
So there are 2 special exponents. There's only 2. I'm going to show you both of them. Here's the first one. Whatever the base is, doesn't matter what number it is, to the 2nd power. Like if I were to say 17 to the 2nd power, they would call it this. This is the special name. (17 squared). This number is sometimes called squared. Now let me show you why that is. Okay? You don't have to write this down. Just watch what I'm going to do. Here's a square. It has length times width, right? Is how many dimensions am I multiplying? Length and width. 2 dimensions, right? This is a 2D. It's like when you watch TV. There's a picture on the screen. You can see how tall something is, how wide something is, but you don't see the depth. It's only 2D. This drawing is only 2D. So it's a square. So whenever you have two-dimensional, it could be called squared. So they might say, what is 13 squared? And when you see that word, you have to remember that means 2 dimensions. What about a 3-dimensional? Watch this. Whoa, I'm bad at this. How many dimensions is that? It's length times width times height. How many dimensions? It's 3D. 3D. So have you ever seen a 3D movie?
Yeah.
Does it look different than a 2D movie?
Yeah.
Watch this, and then we'll take your questions. Anybody know what word they use instead of squared? Look at the picture. Even though it's a bad picture. Anybody know what they call that? Cubed. And here's the reason why I tell you that. If you see something where it says such and such cubed, you need to remember that that means the exponent's 3. And squared means the exponent's 2. And those are the only 2 special ones that have names for them.
Why?
I don't know. Somebody decided that because they're special. So it's 3D or 2D, cubed or squared. Okay, close that. Let's go back here. We got about 8 minutes. We're going to finish a couple more questions. So, 5 times 5 times 5, that is expanded form, right? Write the word expanded. They want you to change it to exponential form. What does it look like if you write that as an exponent? Michael? 5 to the 5th power.
And we know what that is.
Ready? Riley, I'm going to let you do this one. Here's expanded form. What does that look like as an exponent? Genius. 2 to the 4th power. Write these down. Riddick. Now they're going to see if you can work your brain backwards. If they give you the exponent, can you write it as expanded? 8 to the 3rd power, or 8 cubed. Michael.
8 times 8.
Beautiful. That wasn't hard, was it?
That was really
Tatum, what about this one?
10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10.
Make sure you count. You got 6 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pretty simple so far.
No, they're so hard.
So hard. All right, let's take a look. Oh, okay. Want to make it hard?
Oh no.
There's no number this time.
No.
What about if it's a letter? It works the same way.
Oh, yeah.
Lily,
G times G times G.
you guys are absolutely brilliant. You're absolutely right. G times G times G. Here's where we're going to see if we can trick you. Get your highlighters ready. What is the difference between 3G and G to the 3rd power? What does 3G mean? A number and a letter next to each other with nothing in between. Remember, we talked about that last week. It means to,
It means to multiply.
it does. So this means 3 times G.
Whoa. Thank you, no way.
And what does that mean? Blakely? Those don't look anything alike, do they?
Jeez look like a G.
Okay, you ready?
Uh-huh.
They give us this in exponential form, and then they say this. Put it in expanded form first, then evaluate. Remember what evaluate means? Find the value, right? So first things first. Tell me what that's going to be in expanded form, Cooper. Times. How many of them? How many times do I have to multiply that? 4 times.
That's a lot of them.
So that's expanded form. Now they want to know, what is that worth? What's the value? Check this out.
Oh no. Oh no.
Ready? 3.8. I have to do it 4 times.
What? Thank you, no friend.
Write it down.
Oh, gee.
Okay, now they give it to us in expanded form. Change it to exponential form. What do I write down for that? Bailey? 2.1 to what power? To the 2nd power. Exactly right. 2.1 squared. Now, evaluate. What's the value? 2.1 times 2.1.
Now, what? Wouldn't that be wrong?
No.
Because I want it to be 2 on the end, not 1.
No, what's 1 times 1? Not plus, times. Okay, here's another one. 75 hundredths 3 times. How do I write that as an exponent, Miles? To the third power. We're cubed, right? So now we got to evaluate. Watch this. 0.75 times.
I can't do it.
Whoops.
Whoa.
Whoa.
You have no friends.
You guys are doing a great job. Okay, last one before we quit. We're not going to get quite as far as I thought today, but this is a really cool thing. Check this out. When you do an exponent, the base number can be a fraction.
Oh.
Check this out. Ready? 1/4 to the third power. Now, first question, why did I put parentheses in there? Let's see what it looks like without parentheses. Tell me if you can tell why. I want parentheses in there.
Oh, it looks like,
What do you think? Riddick.
it looks like when you put like 4, 6, 2, 3, like how many times 4 can go into 3? And the 1 how many times? Like what is it?
No, that's not what I was thinking of, but that's a good answer, Lily.
It kind of looks like it's the exponent is 13.
It could be that. It could be that the exponent only goes with the 1 and not 4.
Yeah.
But if you do this, it goes to the whole fraction. So write this in expanded form, and then we're going to quit.
I quit.
No.
1/4 times 1/4 times 1/4. Remember multiplying fractions? 1 times 1 times 1 is
1.
1.
Oh, that's
4 times 4 times 4. Well, let's do that. 4 times 4 is,
8.
no, that's 4 times 2.
16.
16 is 16 times 4 is
6. I was gonna say that.
64. So 1/4 cubed, 1/4 cubed equals 64.
Oh.
Let's do a couple. We got time for these two. 9 and 10. Then we're going to stop. Okay, 1/2 times 1/2 times 1/2. How do I write that as an exponent? Blakely. What's the base number? 1/2. How many times? To the third power. So what is 1/2 times 1/2 times 1? Let's look. 1 times 1 times 1 is
1. Oh, that's hard.
2 times 2 times 2 is
4, 8.
8. Oh, they give it to us as an exponent. Write it in expanded form. I'm going to write 2/3. How many times? And standard form means give me the answer. Miles. 2 times 2 is? And miles. 3 times 3 is?
Bro, that's hard.
Not times, not add. 3 times 3.
9.
9. It's okay. All right, put this in your bag. Bring it back. We're going to finish tomorrow.
That was a nice fit.
You guys are awesome.
Yeah, but me.